38,000 people a year die of heart disease, lung disease and strokes directly because of nitrous oxide emissions from diesel vehicles. That's horrible, isn't it? Those of us who are fortunate enough to be able to have a car have a choice whether to have a diesel car, a petrol, a hybrid or an all-electric car. Back at the start of 2017, when we were deciding what car to get next, we came to the decision to buy an electric car, and the environmental aspect is just one of many advantages of having one. And my first vlog in this series was about how we came to that decision. So here we are, 6 months and 1 week later, and guess what? It's here, and it's awesome. We ordered the Ioniq on February the 7th, 2017 with a delivery date of June. So we know that there was a delay in production due to shortage of batteries. We were told that the delivery date was put back to sometime September, maybe even as late as October. Then in late August we were told that the car had been built and was on a boat on its way over to the UK. It landed in Tilbury Docks on September the 10th and it was delivered just 5 days later on September the 15th. It had 36 miles on the clock and that smell of a very, very new car. It was absolutely pristine outside and in. For fans like me of the iPhone Doe YouTube channel, here is my sizzle test of the Hyundai Ioniq. So the car was delivered on Friday and I spent some time in it just having a play with all the technology, which is great, and did one little trip to the gym and back, then put it on charge overnight. So Saturday, the first full day of owning an electric car, didn't actually go to plan. We nearly ran out of power. We started the day with just under 130 miles of range. We started early with a few typical taxi type chores where I was driving the kids around. Redditch and back's 20 miles. The gym and back is 6.5 miles, that sort of thing. I went to Redditch again, did our first load of shopping, which fit in the back just fine. Went out for a meal. Picked the kids up again and then drove 23.5 miles to drop one of them off at a party. And when we got there, we had 34 miles of range left. So I entered our home destination into the sat nav and said, let's go. And it said, oops, you don't have enough battery to make it to your destination. It was dark by the time we left for the party, so I was worried that we wouldn't actually be able to do the range that the car said we would, given that we got lights and heating on. And I could see we had 34 miles of range left and 23.5 miles to travel, so I ignored that and set off. On the way back, I turned off the heating and I drove it as economically as I could, mostly between 60 and 70 on the motorway, and then the 10% battery warning came on and I started to get quite nervous. It was kind of exciting and worrying at the same time, but we made it home, of course, with just 9 miles range left, and with the problem that I had to go and pick our daughter up from the party later on, and didn't really want to do it with less than 60 miles range, since it was going to take about 49 round trip, something like that. So I put the car on charge as soon as we got back, but when I had to leave less than 2 hours later, there was only 55 miles range on it, so I just wasn't comfortable doing that, and so I took the Audi. So first day we had to resort to using a diesel, which we haven't sold the Audi yet, by the way. It's I don't quite know. We are getting rid of it, but maybe part Xing it for a replacement for the Hyundai Coupe over there. So yeah, first day, it was brilliant fun driving the car, and I was loving the technology in it, and I'll do more about that. I'll do some more videos about that in more detail. But as a first day of ownership, we I didn't plan the journeys well enough. Took the "oh, we'll be fine" attitude into it, and was surprised, and I kind of guess disappointed that we couldn't do all the chores that we needed to do on one charge. It was quite an unusual day, to be fair. I mean, that trip to the party and back's unusual. We wouldn't normally do that, but all the same, if I'd have planned it properly during the day when the car was sat on the drive, I'd have put it on charge. You have to certainly plan your day if you're doing lots of little trips like that and want to avoid getting stuck out of power somewhere. So but overall, absolutely loving this car. Very soon we have other things happening electric car related, which are very interesting, and if you're into technology like me, it's fantastic. And so I'll be, of course, making a video about that, so please subscribe to avoid missing that. Hit the little bell notification so that you get alerted when it's released. And yes, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon.